This is Ravenna, a stunning Italian city packed with world-class heritage.
But it's empty. Why? Rome, Venice and Florence combined have only 6 UNESCO World Heritage sites. Yet this small Italian town alone boasts an impressive 8.
It was once the capital of one of the most powerful empires in human history, yet so few even heard of it. With heritage and beauty rivaling Europe's very best, why is it overlooked?
I'm here to find the answer and to show you what people are missing out on. By the end of this video, Ravenna might just leap to the top of your must-visit list.
To understand why Ravenna is so special, let's start right at its heart, Piazza del Popolo. This peaceful and beautiful square has been the beating heart and the main meeting place for the people of Ravenna for over 700 years. Surrounded by stunning medieval palaces and charming cafes, it's an absolutely lovely place to soak in the city's atmosphere.
But what really caught my eye in this square are these 2 towering columns. They might look familiar as they were inspired by the iconic ones in Piazza San Marco in Venice.
These columns tell the tale of how the Republic of Venice seized control of Ravenna in the 1400s. They erected these columns and topped one with a statue of Ravenna's patron saint, while the other was topped with a lion of Saint Mark, the iconic symbol of Venetian power.
But here's the twist: the Venetian lion is missing. In the 1500s, Pope Julius II took over Ravenna for the Papal States and replaced the Venetian lion with a statue of another saint, Saint Vitalis.
This saint isn't just a figure on a statue. He's also the patron of one of Ravenna's most breathtaking churches, the Basilica of San Vitale. Built nearly 1500 years ago, this architectural masterpiece is home to some of the most stunning mosaics in the world. And its story begins with the fall of one of the greatest empires in human history, the Roman Empire. As Rome's power crumbled, the empire split in two. With its defensible location between marshes, rivers and the Adriatic Sea, Ravenna became the capital of the Western Roman Empire in 402. But in less than a century, the city fell into the hands of the Ostrogoths. Their king, Theodoric the Great, made Ravenna the capital of the Ostrogothic kingdom, and the construction of this basilica began. But before the construction was finished, Byzantine Empire, led by Emperor Justinian I, seized Ravenna. Byzantines finished the construction of Basilica and adorned its interior with some of the finest mosaics the world has ever seen. In the apse, Christ is depicted seated on a globe, handing a martyr's crown to Saint Vitalis, after whom Basilica is named. Vitalis was a Roman soldier executed in Ravenna for his Christian faith and become a saint. But besides religious stories, these mosaics also tell stories of politics. You can see Byzantine Emperor Justinian and Empress Theodora as symbols of power, reinforcing their control over Ravenna.
These mosaics are more than just art. They show the ancient world of faith, ambition and power. They serve as beautiful, big advertising billboards sharing biblical and political ideas through art in a time when written texts were inaccessible to most. And they cement Ravenna's legacy as cultural and historical treasure unlike any other. Just steps away lies another stunning treasure, the Mausoleum of Galla Placidia. Behind its modest and simple exterior hides a breathtaking interior and the incredible story of a woman who became one of the most powerful figures of her time. But before we check it out, can I ask you for a quick favor? 95% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. If you love discovering Europe's hidden gems, hit subscribe and join me in uncovering more places like this. And to everyone supporting my travels through Super Thanks, thank you so much.
Galla Placidia commissioned this shrine for herself, but died in Rome and likely never rested here. As the daughter of the last emperor of a unified Roman Empire, her life was anything but ordinary. During the Visigothic sack of Rome, she was kidnapped and taken hostage by invaders. Forced to marry the Visigothic king, she briefly became queen of the Visigoths. But after king's assassination, she was ransomed back to the Roman Empire. Upon her return, she married a powerful general who briefly became Western Roman Emperor, but his reign lasted only 7 months before he fell ill and died. This left Galla as regent for their young son, effectively making her the most powerful figure in the Western Roman Empire. Later, she moved to Ravenna, where she became a major patron of art and architecture, transforming the city into one of the great cultural and political centers of the late Roman Empire.
But Ravenna's treasures don't stop here. You can explore most of its UNESCO sites with a single, affordable combined ticket, and I'll put the link in the QR code and description below.
Yet, Ravenna's beauty isn't confined to its historic streets and mosaics. Just 10 kilometers or 6 miles from the city center, a completely different side of the city awaits, where coastal pine forests give way to wide sandy shores and shimmering Adriatic Sea. In summer, these long beaches come to life, transforming into vibrant hubs of activity. Colorful umbrellas dot the shoreline, sunbeds line the coast, and families bask in the warmth of the Adriatic sun.
After tasting the laid-back side of Ravenna, I can't wait to explore more of its incredible heritage. The next two UNESCO sites tell a fascinating story of how Ravenna changed hands between three great historical empires: Roman, Ostrogothic, and Byzantine, all within less than 100 years. The first is the Neonian Baptistery, one of the oldest monuments in Ravenna. While the Roman Empire initially persecuted Christianity, it eventually embraced the faith and declared it the official religion. This monumental shift led to the construction of baptistries like this one across its cities.
In early Christianity, baptism was a profound ritual, symbolizing entry into the Christian community. Performed once in a lifetime, often in adulthood, it required a dedicated building called a baptistry, which accommodated a large baptismal pool, used for full-body immersion. The Neonian Baptistery stands as a shining testament to Ravenna's early Christian heritage. Around year 450, its interior was transformed with a stunning masterpiece of mosaic art. At its center, the dome depicts the baptism of Christ in the River Jordan, surrounded by 12 apostles in a vibrant procession.
While the Neonian Baptistery celebrates the Orthodox Christianity of the Roman Empire, Ravenna's second baptistery tells a very different story.
It's known as the Arian Baptistery and was built after the Ostrogoths conquered Ravenna. To assert their rule, the new Gothic rulers constructed their own baptistery, marking a dramatic shift in both power and religious beliefs. The Ostrogoths followed Arian Christianity, which denied the full divinity of Christ. This theological distinction is subtly yet powerfully reflected in the baptistery mosaics, designed to emphasize Arian beliefs.
Just a few decades later, the Byzantines under Emperor Justinian I conquered Ravenna. Arian Christianity was suppressed, and the Arian Baptistery became a relic of a bygone era. But despite the short-lived Ostrogothic kingdom, Theodoric left an enduring legacy in Ravenna.
Among Theodoric's greatest legacies stands the Basilica of Sant'Apollinare Nuovo, one of Ravenna's most captivating UNESCO World Heritage sites. Originally built as the chapel of Theodoric's palace, the basilica remains beautifully preserved, unlike the palace itself, whose remains are now far from their former splendor. Step inside, and you'll be transported back in time. The basilica's interior is adorned with the oldest and largest monumental cycle of New Testament mosaics in the world, stretching along the central nave on both sides in 3 magnificent rows. The top row, closest to heaven, depicts 26 vivid scenes from the New Testament, the largest and oldest continuous cycle of Christ's life in early Christian art. The middle row between the windows features a majestic procession of saints and prophets standing in full-length figures dressed in rich robes. The bottom row showcases 2 grand processions: the procession of male martyrs marching toward the enthroned Christ, and the procession of female martyrs, presenting offerings to the Virgin Mary. These processions symbolize the unity of the Arian Church and its saints under Ostrogothic rule.
However, after the Byzantine conquest of Ravenna, the basilica was converted to Orthodox Christianity. Many Arian elements in the mosaics were altered or replaced to align with Orthodox theology and Byzantine rule. But history isn't just something you see in Ravenna, it's something you taste. From Roman and Byzantine influences to fresh flavors of the Adriatic, Ravenna's cuisine is an experience of its own.
If there's one street food you must try in Ravenna, is the Piadina sandwich. It's made with la Piadina, a beloved rustic flatbread used in Ravenna since the ancient Roman times, when flatbreads were common among soldiers and farmers. Served warm and folded in half, the Piadina sandwich is generously stuffed with fresh, high-quality ingredients, including locally sourced cheeses and cured meats. It's the perfect street food to enjoy while wandering through Ravenna's historic streets. When dining in restaurant, one dish that should not be missed is Cappelletti, a classic egg pasta filled with delicious blend of cheeses. Handmade pasta is folded into a small, hat-like shape, hence the name Cappelletti, meaning little hats in Italian. It is filled with a blend of cheeses, including ricotta, Parmigiano Reggiano, and soft local cheeses. Traditionally, it's served in one of two ways: floating in a savory soup for warm, comforting experience, or paired with a rich, flavorful meat sauce. Soup lovers shouldn't miss passatelli in brodo. Unlike traditional pasta, passatelli is crafted from breadcrumbs, Parmigiano Reggiano, and eggs, giving it a soft, delicate texture. The dough is pressed into thick, rustic strands and gently cooked in rich capon, beef, or vegetable broth. As soon as the passatelli rise to the surface, they are ready to be served, creating deeply aromatic soup.
Ravenna isn't just a city of mosaics. What if I told you that the body of the father of Italian language, Dante Alighieri, was hidden here to stop Florence from stealing it?
Dante Alighieri revolutionized medieval literature with his masterpiece, The Divine Comedy, and played a crucial role in shaping the Italian identity. Today, the Dante's Museum offers a fascinating glimpse into his life and legacy. Through artifacts, manuscripts, and immersive exhibits, visitors can explore Dante's time in Ravenna and understand how his work profoundly influenced European culture. Adjacent to the museum stands Dante's tomb. Though born in Florence, Dante died in Ravenna in 1321. Fearing that Florence would try to reclaim his remains, local monks secretly hid his bones in nearby wall, where they remained hidden for centuries. It wasn't until 1865, on the 600th anniversary of Dante's birth, that his remains were rediscovered and finally placed in the tomb where they rest today. Inside the tomb, a lamp burns oil from Florence, a symbolic gesture of reconciliation between Dante's birthplace and Ravenna. Both the tomb and museum are located near the Basilica of San Francesco, where Dante's funeral was held. However, this basilica has another, unexpected treasure that makes it worth a stop. Under the main altar is one of Ravenna's most unusual and exciting sights, a perpetually flooded crypt. Due to Ravenna's unique geology, with its gradual sinking and proximity to the Adriatic Sea, the crypt lies below sea level, causing water to constantly seep into the underground chamber. Fish can often be seen swimming above ancient mosaics, adding to the crypt's tranquil and unusual experience. But Dante wasn't the only literary giant drawn to Ravenna. Nearly 5 centuries later, another renowned writer, English poet Lord Byron, made the city his home. He lived for 2 years in Palazzo Guiccioli, which today has been transformed into a museum complex. The palace houses 3 unique museums. The Byron Museum offers an immersive and interactive experience that brings Byron's connection to Ravenna to life. Visitors can walk through the very rooms he inhabited, exploring his world through historical artifacts, multimedia exhibits, and modern technology. There is also the Museum of Italian Risorgimento, another dynamic and modern exhibition highlighting Ravenna's role in Italy's unification. On the other hand, the Doll Museum features more traditional collection of historical dolls and toys from the 19th and 20th centuries.
Just a short walk from the Lord Byron Museum, Ravenna unveils yet another hidden treasure. Through this church, you enter into an underground marvel called House of Stone Carpets.
Beneath the Church of St. Euphemia lie the remains of a luxurious Byzantine residence. While only the floor has survived, it's adorned with exquisite mosaics and marble decoration preserved across 14 stunning rooms. Visitors can explore this ancient masterpiece up close, marveling at their intricate geometric patterns, delicate floral motifs, and captivating mythological figures. These mosaics offer a glimpse into the luxurious Byzantine life, showcasing the artistic excellence and cultural richness that made Ravenna one of the most important cities of its time.
Well, we've come full circle, back to the Venetians in Ravenna. As soon as they seized control of the city in the 1400s, they built this fortress. But less than 70 years later, the Pope's army took it over.
After its turbulent past, Ravenna finally experienced centuries of relative stability as part of the Papal States. The fortress lost its strategic importance, and as you can see, it is currently under reconstruction, preparing to begin a new chapter in its history. Ravenna remained under papal control for centuries until the unification of Italy and the creation of the modern Italian state.
Ravenna might not have the fame of Rome, Venice or Florence. Maybe that's because, unlike those cities, it hasn't been featured in Hollywood blockbusters or Netflix series. It's stuck slightly off the main tourist path. No major airports, no high-speed train connections, just quiet, authentic Italian charm. But isn't that what makes it extraordinary? A city packed with world-class heritage, breathtaking mosaics, beautiful sandy beaches and mouth-watering food without the tourist crowds. Ravenna is a city no one visits, but everyone should. Do you think Ravenna deserves more visitors, or is it better off as Italy's best-kept secret? Let me know in the comments. And if you're planning a visit, scan the QR code or check the description below for all the tickets and experiences I mentioned. And for more inspiration, my perfect Tuscany trip is a must-watch next. I'm Rock, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.